Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm wearing a lipstick that matches my dress perfectly. And I was just thinking before I came on here how my confidence has grown in terms of wearing my own makeup. You will kind of know if you've watched some of my videos before about my journey kind of back to makeup. I was always into it, but that period when I wasn't. And I started out with things like Super Cindy, because I liked kind of orangey coral things. Sexy Sienna, Coachella Coral. Then I went to Miranda May, and then Hot Emily. And if you look at them, they're all kind of on the same kind of colour spectrum, but they gradually get brighter and brighter. The only one I haven't got, which I think is brighter than this, is Electric Poppy. But yeah, my sister loves this as well, and it's just really good. It brightens up your complexion, especially if you're just going a bit more muted, as I've done today on the eyes. Anyway, you can probably hear my little one in the background. He got back earlier because he got tired out, bless him. So he's in the background. Didn't quite get a day off, but half a day. By the time I did some things that I needed to do, it kind of went and fell asleep for some of it. Anyway, what I wanted to do, I keep remembering not to shout. What I wanted to do today is talk to you about MAC paint pots, because I think that they are very underused in makeup, and that people often talk about, you'll hear them talking about soft ochre or painterly used as an eyeshadow primer. But what some people don't realise is that they're also available in other colours that you can use. And actually today, because I wanted to have a minimal fuss on my eyes, all that's on my eyes are two paint pots. I haven't got any powder over the top. So I'm going to talk to you about them. So first of all, this is MAC paint pot in soft ochre. Now the main two ones that you've heard about, as I've said, are painterly and ochre. Now the difference between both are used as a kind of base to even out your skin tone. But if you've got a kind of warm yellow undertone to your skin, then you would go for soft ochre. If you've got more of a fair pink undertone to your skin, you would go for painterly, which is why I don't have painterly. So I'm pretty sure that I'm right in saying, so if you're an NC, you would go for soft ochre. If you're an NW, I would probably stick to painterly. I think that's how it works, because NW is obviously the opposite to NC. Anyway, so so the idea of these is you put them on and they give you an excellent base to your makeup. And they just last all day. They don't crease. You can see I've got these on. I'm going to show you these colours in a minute. But they don't crease. And then if you put an eyeshadow over the top, they just stay on all day. Great for hoodies. Really great. Equally, if not better, than Tom Ford. But what a lot of people don't realise, or they just don't discover, I think, is paint pots come in other colours. So again, you can use them on their own as an eyeshadow, or you can use them as a base to kind of really bring your eyeshadow alive, or mix it up and make it change colour, that kind of thing. Now you may remember a while back I used the one that I've got on my lid, which is called Rubenesque. And I used it, if you look back on my videos, and I'll try and remember to link it. I didn't link one of my videos yesterday, but I'll do that later. But I did one called Peachy Melon Look, Get Ready With Me. And I used Rubenesque, and then I put a, I'm just going to swatch you this. I will do some swatches in a better light via photo. Okay, actually, let me just, I wiped off the soft ochre, But let me just put the soft ochre next to it. I love this. This was one of the first, this was the first coloured paint pot that I got. I always keep mine in boxes because in case they dry out, but they don't tend to dry out. They're very good. They last a long time. I've had soft ochre for, I mean, I probably should change it just because of hygiene, to be honest, but I've had it for, I can't remember when I got it. It's just been so long. So there's soft ochre, and that is Rubenesque. Now, in my tutorial, the Melanie Peachy tutorial, I put a pigment over the top called, it was something melon, that's why I called it Peachy Melon. I can't remember that, it was melon something, the pigment. They're very good for putting pigment over the top because they really help the pigment stick. So it's a really good way to use your pigments if you don't want to be mixing them with mixing medium and everything. Another tutorial I think I mentioned before in that one is from Pixie Woo, who does one using one of the darker ones, and I've forgotten the name of it. Oh, anyway, it's a dark brown one that she put, I know, it's beginning with C, Constructivist, and she put a copper pigment over the top of it, and that looked beautiful. So I just did a version of that by using this shade and the melon one over the top. So very good for pigments, very good to put eyeshadow over, or you can just do what I do today, what I did today, which is just put it on its own and leave it at that. And you can just put one on. I've actually put two on. So this is Rubenesque on the bottom, and I will show you the one that I used in my crease. So the one I used in my crease was called Quite Natural, and it looks a little, it doesn't look that attractive when you look at it in the jar, but it actually looks lovely on the eyes. Now this one's a matte, so you can get these in matte finishes and you can get them in the sort of more sparkly finish like Rubenesque. I like some of the matte ones because they're just really versatile, and again you can just use them as a different colour base. So when you put this on, if you look at it in the pot, it sort of looks a bit muddy. When you start blending this into the eye, it really doesn't look that dark, as you can probably see. It kind of lightens as it's drying, and it's just really good. So it's one, again, for the hoodies, you can kind of put that into the socket. Very good. Or just put it all over if you want, and buff it in and then use it as a base for eyeshadow. Just darken up your eyeshadow. So I like that one. So that's Quite Natural. So then I'm going to move on to Frozen Violet. Now I haven't used this one a lot yet, but I intend to. This one is a purple shimmery shade. When I say purple, we're talking sort of aubergine purple. Let me just show you. So this is how it looks in the pot, and then I'm going to just swatch that here. So this one's a sparkly one, and that one is called Frozen Violet. Okay, let me just put another bit over the top there, and these layer up beautifully as well. So yeah, so when I was going through my purple phase, I got that, and I got this other one which I have used a lot more. I must have a go at a look with Frozen Violet, because I've kind of experimented with it, but I haven't really used it much yet at all. Now the one that I really love is Stormy Pink. It's actually like a lilac shade, but it's a matte shade, and it just, I think it's one of those shades that if you look on the colour chart, purple is a good shade that will go with any eye colour. and lilac will go with any eye colour, and I think it looks good also on a lot of different skin tones, so because it kind of contrasts. You're not trying to go with something, you're contrasting. So it will contrast most skin tones, it will contrast most eye colours, and that's what makes your eyes pop. So I'm just trying to get rid of this sparkly thing. I'll just be right back. Okay, I didn't want the sparkle from the last shadow to get into this. So this is Stormy Pink. I absolutely love this on the eyes. And there it is. Sorry if it looks like it's patchy, it's not. It's just because I've used a makeup wipe and my finger was still slightly wet, but it does apply very smoothly. It is so gorgeous on the eyes. And I got a shade called Beautiful Iris, which is kind of its powder equivalent, to put over the top. It looks lovely, and it will look stunning on blue eyes, brown eyes. Purple's the sort of colour that anybody can wear. Okay, and because it's matte and not sparkly, again, you can put it on your lid, you can put it in the crease, you can just, it's one that you can put over the entire eyelid if you want. Whereas if you go in for the shimmery one, you might want to be a bit more careful, because it might show up more kind of fine lines, whatever. So I love that one. So that's Stormy Pink. I've got two more to talk you through. The next one, I wanted to get this. It's probably one of the first I got, because it was recommended for people with Asian skin tones, and it's a goldy browny colour, really beautiful, looks stunning on the eyes. Obviously shimmery one again, so I'll just put that one here. So this one is called Indianwood. But you know, you don't have to be Asian. It's just that that's sort of recommended for Asian skin tones. A little bit like Bet. Not quite sure exactly if it's the same kind of tone. I'd have to put the two next to one another, but completely different consistency to the Eyes to Mesmerise, and to the Tom Ford. They're a lot firmer in texture. So I'm going to put that one away, and then last and purchased last, I wanted a really natural matte but light matte shade that I could pop on when I'm in a hurry going to work, that's just going to make me look groomed, a bit like the one I got from Trini that I've used before in my kind of no makeup, because the Trini one's good, but I knew that this formula would last a long time. So I wanted to go for an equivalent of that, and I bought Laying Low, which looks like that. So it's slightly, that actually in this light is a little bit misleading, because it makes it look like it's like soft ochre, and it's not. It's darker than soft ochre. What I'm going to do is actually I'll put it next to soft ochre so you can see, because otherwise you might be thinking it's more like a kind of one of those base colours. So can you see that? But it's kind of, if you want to sort of go for a more natural daytime look, that will really work. Or if you've got very tan skin and something like soft ochre or painterly is going to make you look pale, obviously, that might be a good one to go for. But Laying Low looks really lovely on, or even as a base, and then just put something in the crease. You can kind of put it on your lids, blend it all the way up, and then put a darker colour in the crease so that it will hold on to that colour and just leave that on the lid. Really, really nice. There are a couple more I think I'd like to get at some point. I'd like to try Constructivist, which is a dark shimmery brown. There was another one called something Skate, which is a beautiful shimmery pink. There's some that you can't get online, but when you go into the MAC stores, they seem to have them. And there was one that I really liked, and I wanted to get it, and she said we haven't got it in stock. So I might sort of have a look at one of the other stores, but I can't remember what it was, but it was kind of a really light shimmery shade, which again just looked beautiful. And I might not necessarily wear that on its own, but I might put another eyeshadow over the top so that the sparkle comes through, but I've got something a little bit darker over the top. So those are the paint pots. So we have, sorry, that one is so close to my hand, I forgot it was there. Laying Low. This is Soft Ochre. This is Rubenesque. This is Quite Natural. This is Frozen Violet. This one is Stormy Pink. And actually, it looks more lilac on the lids. I just think it's in this light. It definitely looks more lilac on the lids. And this one is Indianwood. And let me just show you. I've just put those on. I'm kind of rubbing. Now, I'm not rubbing really hard. Let's just see what I won't there because I've just put those on. But these ones right there, now let me rub really hard. Can you see the pressure I'm applying? That is how long wearing they are. They are really, really long. Look how much pressure. Okay, so I definitely recommend those. That's it for today. I will do another video tomorrow. We have a long weekend, so have no fear. I just haven't thought about what I'm going to do yet. Okay, but take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.